Ladies and gentlemen, at the time I'm doing this YouTube video, and hit subscribe right this second, things are heating up. Steve Scalise does not have the support in the House of Representatives to secure the House speakership. NBC News, Trump is not ruling out being the new House Speaker. Believe it or not, the House Speaker doesn't actually have to be serving in the House. So Trump has stated numerous articles that if there's no Speaker of the House, he can become Speaker. He would accept a speakership position in the House of Representatives. Okay? If you look, ladies and gentlemen, there are a number of House Republicans who say they will not accept Steve Scalise. Now, Scalise is a lot better than McCarthy. He's not as good as Jim Jordan. But he managed to gain more support because he was second in charge. So he's not like Kevin McCarthy, who is more of a company type of person. He's not like Kevin McCarthy. He's not a company man like Kevin McCarthy. Steve Scalise is more like Jim Jordan than he is McCarthy. However, perhaps he might not be the same type of individual in terms of going up against rampant corruption as Jim Jordan. Who knows? He could be just as good as Jim Jordan. We don't know. We know that Jim Jordan is, thank God, defending Trump from obvious political stunts throughout the country. So what happens is they're accusing Trump of crimes, and then the Democratic prosecutors who are accusing Trump of crimes, are then being asked by Jim Jordan if there's any political influence, and they say, "How dare you? We just happen to be Democratic Party politicians. Of course there's no influence in trying to go after the one person who is now up in an average of polls with mashed potato brains. You can look. Trump is still up. He was up by 1.1. Now it's 0.8. And I don't know how a Fox News or Morning Consult, because you have 30% of Democrats actually, according to a Rasmussen poll, 30% of Democrats, I believe it's Rasmussen today or yesterday, state they're going to vote Trump. So I don't know how I don't know how Biden is up by 1. But anyway, hit subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen, to read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, and other publications. Go to HAGoodman.com. To my super thanks, it's below. Thank you. My Patreon is below. Thank you so very much for your support. And ladies and gentlemen, I will have a live stream soon. We'll do a whole bunch of live streams, obviously. A great number of live streams in 2024. But anyway, Steve Scalise struggles to find the support to gain the speaker role. I think what's taking place, and we can go ahead and look at the number of Republicans who will not back Scalise, is that McCarthy was removed, kicked out of the speaker role. They want somebody who's going to be less, they want to just reform a very corrupt system, even within the Republican Party. And they want somebody more along the lines of Jim Jordan. However, you have Lauren Boebert, and they all want Jim. The people who don't want Scalise want Jim Jordan. Representatives Lauren Boebert, Michael Cloud, Carlos Gimenez, Rob Good, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Nancy Mace, Max Miller, Chip Roy, Representative Lloyd Smucker of Pennsylvania, George Santos, Anna Paulina Luna of Florida, Brian Mast, Keith Self, Andrew Clyde, Warren Davidson, and Andy Ogles of Tennessee. They're all saying that there are a couple of lawmakers who have not committed to supporting Scalise yet, Thomas Massey and Mike Turner. So you have a situation where if you don't get the support from the 16 to 18 Republicans who want Jim Jordan, by the way, it's very feasible that Trump, who's not ruling out being Speaker of the House, can become Speaker of the House. Does Donald Trump want to become Speaker? It's a question that's emerged. A lot of people have been calling me about Speaker. Trump said Wednesday morning, all I can say is we'll do whatever is best for the country and other Republican Party and people. So Trump's name was immediately floated by supporters after the successful vote to depose McCarthy. Members are trying to talk the president about leading as the House works it out long term. Okay, so he stated several times, ladies and gentlemen, that if they don't find a House Speaker, so let's say Scalise does not get enough votes, he could become Speaker, which would be absolutely amazing because it would just highlight how absurd the allegations against him are. So if you look, ladies and gentlemen, they're trying to go after him politically in ways that they would never utilize against Democrats. The thing is that if you go after Trump, if you indict him for crimes that you never would have leveled against Democrats, the FEC actually fined Clinton's campaign. The FEC, the federal the federal agency in charge of making sure that every 4 years runs very well. Okay, we'll just be algorithmically friendly here. The FEC fined Clinton for purchasing the Steele dossier with campaign donations and not explaining that it was an obvious stunt to deceive the American people. The Steele dossier was complete and nonsense. Most morally superior liberal Democrats don't know what the Steele dossier is. They don't care. They just know that Trump is accused of something that's good enough for them. The dossier was utilized by the Federal Bureau of Investigation and others. It was literally purchased by Trump's direct political rivals. It was purchased by Trump's direct political rivals, and it was against campaign finance laws. So the only political side that actually broke laws pertaining to 2020 was the Democratic Party. Then you have, in a conservative, generally, historically, a conservative red state, you have Democratic Party prosecutors going after Trump in Georgia, stating that he worked alongside Georgia Republican officials. These are, by the way, Republican state GOP officials and attorneys in some kind of criminal enterprise to overturn results. Nothing of the sort took place. They went through the proper channels, or they went through at least legal means. The interesting thing about the DC and the Georgia indictments, the special counsel and the state indictment pertaining to 2020, is that for not 1 second did Democrats or anyone think that Trump was going to stay in the Oval Office forever. That was never even pondered or feared by Democrats around the country. In fact, they mocked and made fun of Trump all the time, saying, "Oh, he lost 60 cases." That's right. He went through the court system. Okay, which is exactly what Democrats did. They also tried to go against. If you look at 2016, there were actual public service announcement commercials. There were commercials with Hollywood actors asking that the will of the people not be upheld and that big bad mean Trump not be allowed to enter the Oval Office. Okay, Hollywood was doing not only the same thing as Trump, but they utilized the acting and the public relations they're good at to try to bring about that end, to have him not become president. Okay, like I said, you also had the FEC fine Clinton. And then you had unelected officials who stated, "We'll stop Trump." So, and then, of course, you had 4 years ago, going on 4 years ago, 50 intelligence officials who, of course, tell you the opposite of what is true. Okay, the intelligence officials, by the way, in this country, I'll just leave it at this. There was a tremendous intelligence failure. Okay, I had my bar mitzvah at the country right now, suffering a great deal. There was a tremendous intelligence failure. And Trump is right in a lot of what he says pertaining to what the atrocities that took place. It was an intelligence failure, not only there, but here. If we had stopped focusing for a second so much on mean Trump, and actually had the intelligence we claim to have, we would have known, as well as others, about the impending doom. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe to this channel right now.